as the market falls. Sentiment shifts, the bear calls. Noobs tremble in the cold grip, but I stalk silent, let the fear slip. Hunting the bear in the dark, I thrive. Guerrilla shadows, keeping hope alive. Blood whispers lies, but I fight the night. Turn the trap, devour the fright. DCA in the depths, hold the line steady. Short the panic, strike when they're heavy. Liquidation's ghost, I laugh in its face. Veteran blood, I own this space. Hunting the bear in the dark, I thrive. Guerrilla shadows, keeping hope alive. Fight whispers lies, but I fight the night. Turn the trap, devour the fright. Oh, the bear roars, but I'm the blade. It's a fog, I'm not afraid. Pulse the charts, feel the devour. Guerrilla victory in the hour. Hunting the bear in the dark, I thrive. Guerrilla shadows, keeping hope alive. But whispers lies, but I fight the night. Turn the trap, devour the fright. Hunting the bear. Chase the high, leverage to the brim. Stack ruled strong, felt the market's him. Dream soared high, then the crash crept near. Margin call hums, I drown in fear. Panic swells, bags slip through my hands. Heart beats wild, sinking in the sands. Sweat runs hot, dead pulls me below. Liquidation's call, soft and slow. Liquidation cry draws me in. Fear flows deep. Where do I begin? Pain drifts soft, I'm lost within. Oh, liquidation cry. Anxiety grips, screen fades to dread. Friends bail out, leave my hopes for dead. Ticks fall hard, my chest tightens slow. Stacks a shadow, where did it go? Liquidation cry draws me in. Fear flows deep. edge, drew a line to save. Took a pause, felt the fear unwind. Held my plan, clawed out of the grave. Foot retreats, but the echoes bind. Liquidation cry, it draws me in. Fear flows deep, where do I begin? Pain drifts soft, I'm lost within. Oh, liquidation cry. Liquidation cry, I rise through the fade. Shadows stretch where the silence breaks. Whispers twist through the faded stakes. I'm a stranger lost in the fall, dragging chains through the endless sprawl. Market ashes burning my soul, rising dust taking its toll. Set my line, but it slips.
The ringing of the cowbell. Let the fear, uncertainty, and doubt be dispelled from this area. So says the cowbell, so must it be. And the sacred feather duster. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Dang Skippy. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the weirdest crypto show on YouTube with a talking turkey that's often half-baked. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we begin?
For those of you out there that have hit that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Road Dogg, the only crypto channel that gives you excellent TA on YouTube, served to you by a turkey with a feather duster. Top that, yeah, ha! Algorithm, I'm coming for you, baby. We're gonna switch it up and just blow your mind. All right. Welcome everybody, I'm just being silly out here as we're watching Bitcoin do what Bitcoin does, which is confusing AF. I'm feeling like a little, I don't know, what would we call this? Is bipolar the word I'm looking for? I have a lot of thoughts and emotions going on right now because I'm a little pissed. I'm a little nipped. But I do have if there is any indicator that I can give you that this might be a bottom, it will be with this simple explanation right here. Well, other than this possible trend line area, but my example is going to be what happened over here. And was it you? Or was it you? Was it you? I think it was you. Pretty sure it was you. Oh gosh darn it. Yes, it was you. It was you. Down when we were down here heading towards 70-something thousand or whatever, there was a point in this game, somewhere through here, where we hit a level and I put a stop loss in. And it was probably over here somewhere. Yeah, I believe it was right over here. Around 75. As just a safety measure in case we do something kind of crazy. We didn't have this trend line as it is now because we didn't have that juicy information at that point in time. And what happened was that, you know, my little stop loss put in an area to save my ass got wicked under, and then the only way I could get back in is to chase. I mean, still chasing at reasonable areas. I mean, my gosh, you look back at 78,000, like that stopped me at 76, man. So if I'm making like and it's psychologically over here when that happens, you'll think, I feel like I'm chasing. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna wait for it to come back. You know, you got all these things going in your head, and all the time they fake you out, and then they start taking to the run up, get you all scared, nervous, at actual points of support. I mean, if you look over here in this area, we were just right at testing this one. We don't always have to come down and test those areas. Elliott wave theory, if you're looking at that, the 1, 2, and then the 3, 4, you know, this peak and that bottom can't overlap. It has to be a gap, and that made a nice little gap right there. But anyway, more to the story was stop me out and then go off without me. So a similar situation has recently happened. I mean, we are at areas where we're starting to break things where de-risking and saving your ass may come into effectamento here. And I've been looking at this little area here very, very closely, especially this Fibonacci area for day 6. So when we go from swing low to swing high, we look at this deep ass retracement, because I'm really looking for a little guy that looks maybe something like this. Oh, where are you at, dude? Why can I never find you? Why do you always hide from me? You suck. I'm just saying. So I'm looking for one of these ideas, at least a deep retracement, and or it could be something a little bit more like this down to this area, right, to about 108. So her breaking below this area, I put a stop loss in there. That little sucker came and got me, and now I'm a little bit pissed. I'm a little nipped. It's coming and going. I put my stop loss right under here, and for a significant amount of my Bitcoin spot margin, and it may be a blessing in disguise. There's not much of a range here. It's not like if I chase within this range, I'm going to lose anything, or even if it comes up here after a confirmation, if this is a bottom. What I'm looking for is us to recover this area, and it's trying to right now. This, if you look at this pattern-wise, while not necessarily a reversal pattern, it can be part of the start of one. And this is a bullish megaphone. It has leveled out, a partial decline. I mean, this is pretty much the lowest area it's come to in this little range. And it's got a 72% chance to break to the upside. You know, certain things are kind of met there, and I'm kind of met those. Now, I was kind of piffed when this is what they came down and stopped me, and then they went up, and I was getting upset, pissed off. And then when it started coming back down, I was like, yeah, we did the right thing, yeah. And then started getting below here. I'm like, hell yeah, oh yeah, we're ready to go now. Haha, it's like we're just this is a stop out. This wasn't a short play. This was a safe position from in case things just go crazy down play. And it was only half. I didn't go all. You know, it's a portion. It's a bigger play, but it's still enough to. But at least it did lock in stuff, so I got to look at it that way. But we could easily fall back down to these areas. So we're at an area we don't know. And I got to tell you, if you think, when you think in your head, and a lot of times we do as traders, imagine what the top's going to be like. Now, excellently, we're going to sell that top and make all this money, and we're going to, you know, hoping to nail it perfectly, or if we're a little bit more sensible, we're like, we'll try to do our best as we can. But if you want to know what a top feels like, what we have been going through is what a top feels like. And you don't know if it's the top. You don't know if it's the top. You have to wait for confirmations. Now, I don't think that this is the all-time high for Bitcoin, even for this year. I do not believe that. I believe we got the short squeeze will come, and it will be glorious at some point. I got too many numbers on here. But I mean, you got to admit, sentiment is starting to get very bearish, and we have done critical things to deserve that criticism. We've broken trend lines, and I've given it all the wiggle room. And I mean, really, if I was going to be more like I'm on the daily time frame. Let me get you lined up here. with my candle bottoms. So this is my main trend line there. We broke that little sucker at 118,000, and that was the first sign to, hey man, something going on over here. Even if you just put it under these candle bodies, that's fine. 117, blowing below that, and that was the area we were watching so long, 117,300, because that was an important Fibonacci area that if we were to bounce from it could be pretty freaking good. But like I said, it's rare that we do that. We usually come down to a 382 for a healthy, very bullish correction. Like if we were to make some kind of big ass flag pattern or something, it's usually the 382 fib that you'll find your bounce for if that flag is going to work for you. Okay, a little fib knowledge there for flag chasers that will help you not chase those random flags to the upside, because gosh darn it, every top that there is in the market, there is some guru out there drawing a flag pattern, enticing people to chase it higher. It happened here and even happened here to the upside. And when you watch them, they don't really pay attention to trend lines. They just don't. Not to bigger trend lines, just something they can throw in there. Anyway, we broke this trend line, and so that's got us a danger signal. Now, it's not always terrible. It's not totally reversal, but this could be setting up for a reversal pattern, an M pattern. It will be confirmed when we break below a 111,800 area. That will be our confirmation area. So I want to make a special little line here with a special little note. I want to try to keep doing this. I'm going to put this as M confirmation line. So we've not yet confirmed this M pattern, but we broke the trend line, and that's a good sign that it may happen. Also, being in this big ass Ichimoku cloud is a good sign that it might happen. I mean, miracles can happen. We often come into a cloud in a bullish market, and instead of it spitting at us on the bottom, which is normally what you would see in a neutral or especially bearish market, especially in a bear market, you would definitely see that. Things change. The nature of the cycles of this cycle that we're on, it changes depending on what phase that we're in. We're in a markup phase, possibly to a distribution. I mean, that's what some people are going to be drawing from some of these conclusions, or might be trying to point out. But we look for a little different characteristics on some of these, especially on my Fibonacci strategies. That's where the different levels start coming in that we start looking at and playing, then that work. All right, the ones that we look and say, oh my gosh, it did bounce there and did hold that area. Oh my gosh, and that is one of the keys to it is, and even in your pattern trading, if you study that, now you won't get this from the gurus or even half the trading groups, I don't believe, but studying with under Thomas Bukowski, reading his stuff. And thepatternSite.com, you also realize the patterns act differently if you're in a bullish trend or a bearish trend, or the bullish part of the market or in a bear market. They act differently. There's some different statistics that go along with them. There's some different behaviors for a lot of those patterns. Some of them may be the same, but there's some variations on some of those. So I don't think that's ever drawn out. Usually people are in a bull market with the gurus paying for the expensive groups and things like that, and you're just learning bull market techniques, and honestly I think for some of the more popular morning ones that I've seen, I think that's all they know is the bullish stuff. Anyway, not trying to be critical, but just trying to point out things that, you know, if you don't pay attention to, then you can get caught off guard. Now, I can make an argument from this little top of the trend line here to the bottom of these guys and where we got support. It's not the greatest argument, though. There is an argument to be made right over here. Also takes us down to this 108 little measure move area that we identified before. Hey man, is this music just a little too chill? Do we need to let's get it out here. Let's spice it up a little bit. Ooh, And in the meantime, perhaps I should come over and say hello to everybody, but I'm afraid I will not complete my thoughts here. We have not confirmed an M pattern. This measure move, I forgot what the hell you were from. That's why I need to make more notes there. But it would also be a nice retest of this breakout trend line, supply line. I guess we can call it whatever. I call it trend line because I just use word for them all. It's a top line connecting those dots, man. Top of them candle bodies here on the bigger time frame. That should be strong support at this area at 108 if we decide to go down there. What I'm really want to do is come over to this chart and talk about this one because this has got the bigger picture. And here, I'll just go ahead and mention it briefly. This red line that we throw this up last night on a fresh new chart just for this purpose and identified, we get rid of that white line, that our first important fib area where, like we said, we could get some really strong bounces if we get support here. And we are in the final stage of the market and part of a big ass parabolic move. Even though we've broken this trend line, we're still in a big ass parabolic move for Bitcoin. We could bounce here, so we don't want to miss that. And this is what the market makers are really good at getting us to do, is to miss any opportunity like that. So we see that we're at this area now. We came down and we tapped it brilliantly today. It was the line I've got drawn there, 112,788 area, right? And it's just a little higher from where we wicked over there, you see. When I pull my fibs from here to here, this is a deep retracement to 886. That's why I'm looking at this area. There's still a chance that we can bounce from here, and the only way to see that is to watch these smaller time frames. And they're starting to show us a little respect here, right? And we worked ourselves back down to this 6 minutes where we started our show, and we do see us trying to bottom here. And that's great. It also tried to do it over here, but failed. This could keep going on as we drop lower and lower and all that. So we got to keep that in mind. 6 minute time frame. I can't really read it. Let's zoom out. I want to look between these 2 points and look for some divergence here. Sometimes that can be that I want to see that at key areas. When we come to key support, that's when to pay attention to divergence, in my personal opinion and from everything I've studied. The 2 hour time frame has given us a little hope. It was giving us a little doubt last night. That was one of the warning signals. Hey man, even the 2 hours starting to look a little I think that was last night, right? Or it might have. Yeah. We were up here, and then it came down and flipped bullish and then flipped bearish again. But last night we were somewhere around 116, and it's looking, maybe we'll double bottom here. Maybe we'll get something. That was on the Lucy line here on this time frame. That is the devil girl right there. And of course, she has to be above everybody, had to knock us down a peg or two and have us go talk to the 800 moving average. We're at the 800 moving average here on the 2 hour time frame. 2 hour time frame is a good time to track this. Now, I don't know that we're going to get a reversal here. Like, oh, that was it. Haha, we fooled you. That was it. We're going to start going back up to 120 now. I don't see that because the bigger time frames don't say that. The bigger time frames say there's some stuff going on. And it's not just here in crypto. It's also across all markets. So we're in a shaky territory. We're in August going into September. These are very turbulent months, and they're not as wonderful for our bags as we would like in history. And I can attest to that. Usually through this time, I'm always like, oh God, why am I in crypto again? Why? So what I anticipate coming for Bitcoin is we'll be coming back up to this area about 114.6 wherever. We're going to retest this, the Lucy line, the crosses we got going on there. We might fall from there and come back and try to establish a pattern here. That would be very hopeful. That can take us a few days, maybe on into the gosh darn weekend before we try to figure that out, and they leave us hanging. Oh, I think on there, I think I got whatever games, but that could be one scenario that we're looking at there. Or maybe she decides, screw you, I'm going to come on up here. We may even get up to these areas about 116, 117, retesting the 117 area right over through here. That little magical area that I had a red line at for the so longest, that's the area that we lost on our trend line and everything, right in this area. Some kind of bearish retest, and we could still be working our way down, or oh my gosh, everybody be looking for inverted head and shoulders. Maybe we could see any of that, but still, these areas over here are now some serious resistance for us. And it could just be a big ass bearish retest, meaning this is an opportunity for relief on some altcoin plays. If we look like we can do something like that, so we could be doing that, but yet we haven't never confirmed an M pattern, right? At 111. Or here's the other scenario: we could be just ranging in a big freaking box. Yeah. And with these options going on, in my personal opinion, everybody be confused. Nobody know what to do. And we got so many options up here at the top. You either believe it's going to keep going on, you believe they just ranging out, going to fake us out before they take it on, or you're thinking this is part of a big correction, or you're thinking this is the top and we're going the pretty much over, or something really bad. And any one of those situations can be correct. Any one of those situations can be correct here at this magical pivotal point that we have right now. And that just be the truth of the matter. So what's a trader to do, man? What's a trader to do? Remain calm at all times. That is what we have been taught. That is what we have been told. And that is our main mission, is to remain calm at all times. Guys, I want to come over to the chat. Say hello to everybody. I got 28 people hanging out. Cool. Haven't had that in a while. Y'all scared? That's usually when I get more. I get more people here when the market's scared. I've noticed. And that's cool. All right, let me get the live chat all set up. Let me know if the music is too much. We're listening to the hard rock playlist tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, pardon me just a moment. And we're back. It's the magic of video. The modern 21st century. It's amazing. Well, technology comes from aliens. What? Fiber optics? Where'd that come from? Hey, man, there's this none shot. Anyway, hey, Stray Guy, what's up? How's it going, Stray Guy? Stray Guy's #1 tonight. Congratulations, my man. My OG dog, my road dog, Stray Guy. Do Audi C. Justin Makasek. Damn, I guess I'm early. Hey. Actually, you know, I posted my thumbnail. I thought I posted it like an hour early. I was trying to be a good little YouTuber and do it early, because I usually do about 30 minutes ahead of time if I'm lucky, or less. I got to post about 5 minutes before show, but I'm surprised 29 people. I got better results that way. Maybe I'll do that more often. Just surprise. I'm streaming instead of trying to give a heads up. When I post it early, I get fewer people. It's crazy. Try to do the right thing and you get bullets on parade. Glad to have you here. And there's glittery marshmallow. Them marshmallows be sparkly. We got Captain Crypto. White Wolf. How's it going, White Wolf? Tommy 2 liters. Yahoo! I used to drink them when I was a kid. Little chocolatey. It was chocolate milk that never went bad. Oh, that's a Yoo-hoo. I'm sorry. Yahoo's the search engine. How's it going, Tommy? Good to see you. Dave P. Justin says, it won't be confusing in high tide, brother. Take a breath. Smoke a bowl. It's going to be all right. Bitcoin will be A-okay. It will be okay. The altcoins, however, man, that's really where my biggest concern is. Them freaking altcoins. We're going to take a look at a couple. There might be a few little things to... Well, we'll take a look at the indices. Find out what's going there. Because we're at support areas for altcoins, believe it or not. You gotta see it. They're faking us out. They just getting scared. We'll look into that, especially on the bigger time frames, to get a better look at the momentum, because that's really the key on looking at this stuff right now, is the momentum. But depending on your mindset, I mean, if we're going through the shaky 6 to 8 week, or it could be longer, well, 6 to 8 weeks of just kind of rangy, shaky, which is kind of normal. It's normal for this time of year. It is. Then might be some good opportunities there. You know what I'm saying? Actually, altcoins have not dropped quite as much as I thought. But if we do have a scenario where Bitcoin can go back and retest $100,000, and that's very possible. That is very possible. That could be what we are doing, is heading back to retest the $100,000 area. A 30% drop in Bitcoin is not unusual, not uncommon. We see that a lot. It just kind of sucks here toward the end of the year, as we're closing out this or entering this third quarter here, that would happen. Hey, there's Joe. How's it going, Joe? Trade Intuition, fellow YouTuber. How's it going, Joe? I believe we got you pulled up over. No, we got Meet Damien over here. He was also live. Excellent stream over there today. I didn't get to watch it all because I had an appointment I had to go to, but I caught him. I like Damien. We use we have a lot of things in common with our tools and how we look at the market there. We're different. I mean, nobody's exactly the same, but some similarities there. And we got Joe, also another YouTuber. Get on here and streaming every day, teaching people how to trade, man. Teaching people how to trade and do it responsibly. I'm just saying. You're especially emphasizing good fundamental rules, man. Joe's your man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're watching Bitcoin here. And we're getting a green candle on the 2 hour. A green dot. We're getting a little lightness in our MACD histogram. And we're getting a little uppiness on our RSI. A higher low on this in the green area. Now, one thing that I do like, whatever time frame I'm looking at, if I've got my RSI buried in the red and my stochastics is also buried in the red and trying to flip bullish, they're both down there together at the same times and trying to, those can mark bottoms, okay? And especially on the weekly. Actually, we're going to be looking for the opposite situation when we're on the weekly, when we're looking for our tippy top. And did we miss it? Because I may have forgotten to look at that last time. Now here we are, top over here. Now we didn't get over into the juicy green yet for this recent tops that we've had. Doesn't make, I mean this one goes back last year, March of 24. I'm on the RSI on the weekly. Notice how they just keep coming down and coming down. I find that to be very, very interesting. I'm going to draw a trend line right there. Man, all we need to do is break above this trend line right here, get back into the green, and ooh, baby, I think that's what we'll see when we finally see the move out of Bitcoin that we want. We'll be seeing it moving right up here and breaking out through here. Oh yeah, we ain't done that yet. So this is where we're getting some bearish divergence too, although this is from the December. Were you up? No. Yeah. There is actually some bearish divergence from there. I mean, on the weekly, breaking a trend line. There's some signs that we might be in for a correction. I mean, we just got to be real. And it sucks because if we are in a bigger correction and we're early, making that transition, that shift that it might be happening, it's hard. And all you can do is watch, and you don't know. But 105, I mean, we got an area. We can make an argument, a 50% correction down here at 99. But I would argue, at this point in the market, I don't want to see that deep of a correction. It can, and we can still be fine. But let's say if a black swan event or something like that happens, maybe we'll see that. And that would be the retest of the 100,000. Maybe we come down there. I don't know. But we could have black swan events. We got a lot of stuff going on in the world. I don't know what to tell you about that. But these are the 3 major areas of support that I am looking for overall, just under our move here. Otherwise, most stuff looks fairly decent. But I mean, all I'm saying is we got to be prepared for a scenario like that. And I was saying hello to everybody, and then I got back over in the charts. This is our altcoin market. This was our tippy top that we kept talking about over here, 1.1 trillion. Like, oh, and I was looking for actually just a little bit more. She didn't really touch it. She did not touch my fib, and I'm pretty sure I drew them accurately. So, and I was kind of hoping maybe she'll come back up for a second run, but no, we didn't. Nice pin bars, nice little tweezer poppy looking candles right here on these, but we got some coming downs that we can do, several areas to still come down and catch some support in altcoins. I still think altcoins don't look that bad so far. Got this major trend line that we're probably coming back to try to bounce from. Unless she's also trying to make a big ass M pattern, and I'm sure that will be the idea. But what kind of makes me not worry about that so much is my bigger moving averages. That's the momentum. I think this big ass trend line will continue the trend. But I can't blame people if you see some of these altcoins go up and take some profits there. We're going to take a look at some of those, and I want to put my little marker into the chat. If you got any altcoins you want me to take a look at, I'll be happy to take a look at those. Throw the marker, and that way I can find it when I come back to the chat. Me continue saying hello to everybody. Justin says there's more voices tonight, or maybe I'm hearing shit. Maybe. There are lots of voices on this channel. There are lots of different voices. And moving turkey face. Why are you going over here? Gator Squatch. Notice I didn't say Gator Snatch. I said Gator Squatch. I did it right. Gator Squatch in the house. It's going to rain, says White Wolf. It's been very cloudy where I'm at, too. I'm in the eastern coast. Oh, man, we got a lot. Y'all are boosting up my chat rate. Look at that. I feel naked when I don't watch. All right, so I may have missed some people. I don't know, because I've got to go up too hard. I think he's re-snorting to snorting it. Dried coffee straight up the night. Can you tell? Sean, did you snitch on me? I did have my coffee early tonight, Mr. Miles. I did. I'm trying to chill out with this stuff. This Skittle water. I remember my Skittle water used to taste more like vodka, but it doesn't now. White Wolf says there is truth. I am so BitBoy crash. What would BitBoy do? I like that. I don't know what you guys are all talking about here. Are you ready to? Oh, don't want the crap out of you. I'm feeling spicy. There's the Gopher Aves doing it. All right, let's come down to the bottom of the chat. I don't think I can catch up with whatever was up there. Okay, there's our submit coin request right there. Why don't we do Pouty Face? Chief and Keith, how's it going? Good to see you. Even says, Pingo and Peppy, I'm feeling Lucky Punk. Take a look at those. I'm going to take a look at Link and BNB because those are some very strong coins. And if the market's pulling back, if altcoins are going to do something, but Link she hasn't made her move yet. She's still up there where she could be shorted, right? She's like around $23 area, $23, $24 area. I took my biggest profits on Link. I did really good on this one. That's one of the positions I'm proud of. During this thing, I actually worked that one right. Now I should have done that with all my positions, but I made an extra effort to go hard on selling those while they were up. And I do this on spot margin. I'm still finessing that. Apparently, I'm not perfecting my profit trading because when we come down, I'm always like, this is not as low as I expected you to get, or my risk percentage gets lower than I want it to get. That's what I'm focusing on with my spot margin, my risk percentage on the exchanges. And sometimes that goes lower than I think that I'm going to let it, my calculations are incorrect. So what translation? Sell more. Sell more. Quit trying to build the bag so much and sell more. Quit, which is, I guess, another form of greed catching up with my ass. But I did really good on Link and BNB and some of those, and they're just sitting pretty so far. Knock on wood, everything can change, right? Well, I got AVAX and ADA. Oh crap, I just missed the Captain Crypto says on deck screener, what is it? Min? Deck screen. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. Chief and Keith says ZBCN. That one's just kind of holding out, isn't it? I've got a little position of it, and I'm just kind of watching it, and it's just been hanging out. It hasn't done anything in a while. Just hung out at that same little amount I put into it. Crypto Squid says I made a lot scalping mix. That one was doing pretty good, wasn't it? That one took off like crazy too. FZBC, yeah, they took a lot of my money, says Crypto Squid. Wait, he has no nostrils. Ave, are you? Yeah, I'm busted. I just got doxxed. I have no nostrils. That is true. This turkey is lacking a pecker. I am a peckerless turkey. I will come clean. Not nary a pecker. Ain't nary a pecker on my face. That's always a good thing, right? Anyway, you are correct. There's no nostrils. I have no beak. I am a cooked turkey. Anyway, Mr. Miles says, Casper, how did... You know, I was going to guess, Mr. Miles, what coin that you would like. And I was like, wow. Wonder what coin Mr. Miles will go for. Ave says, yeah, I have no link. Unbelievable. Well, thank you. That's helping the numbers not go down. I'm trying not to ride the roller coaster. I don't like riding this altcoin roller coaster. I'm sick and freaking tired of it. And if you watch us go up when things are going good, and if you're not taking no profits, then I still get some of that coming down feeling on that the dippers. And just to make clear, what I'm talking about when I'm talking about taking profits is a lot of times what I'm doing on my spot margin strategy, in theory, well, I mean, it's similar to a bot trading. It's actually really similar to a good trading strategy. It's for it to play spot margin, because you're mostly playing ranges to grow a bag, right? And so as price comes up into your target area, what I'm not doing is that what's making the difference is to actually do the pyramiding thing. When I do the straight up, like every little level is, you know, maybe the same amount of coins that I'm selling on every level. Well, that's the way to do it. That's where I find when we come back down to these areas that I'm like, oh man. But when I do make more of an effort to sell more, layer bigger trades, you know, bigger sales as the price goes up, when it's pyramided heavy like that, that's when it does better down here. And maybe I might even throw an extra sell in. That's what I did with Link. I was like, oh, we're up here. I'm just going to, I put stop losses on Link. That helped, like, because if something's up so high like Link is, I got a stop loss at $23 on Link. If we break below $23, I mean, I'm selling a bigger part of my bag there. Let's take a look at Link, if you don't mind. We didn't even go over to Total 3, though. Oh, crap. Which comes first, Total 3 or Link? We should do Total 3, man. For real, for real. It's going to tell you what's going to happen with Link, stupid. It can give us a clue here. Maybe not tell us what's going to happen with Link, but it can tell us the sentiment on the market. We did look at Total 3, silly. We're coming down, right? Okay, now we look at Link. So we know that we're on the little down. We lost the 21 on the daily. So there's downward pressure. There's still hope. We haven't got a cross of the 9 over the 21 moving average. Until that happens, we got some hope that maybe we can bounce from these areas and come. So we're still in a hope area, but hope doesn't pay the bills, okay? Only performance pays the bills. And so we got to see if the hope will win out or not if we get some support down here. Usually losing the 21, we're looking for the 50 moving average area. And so we're starting to look at about this 9.85 billion. Losing a little bit more money in altcoins since we're sitting still at 1 trillion. That would suck a little bit for altcoins. So I'm going to take a look at Link. What we got going on with Chainlink over here, man? Is there a short possibility over here, or is it just going to hang tough? She's not, well, it's not the best trend line I got. Testing the 9 moving average is finding support there, and a makeshift trend line I've got here. Trend line's questionable on this time frame. Definitely trying to test it if I'm trying to draw it as correctly as I can. What are you? I don't know what the hell that means. All right, so coming down to we're here on the daily. Topped out at our 786 fib. There's an 886 target at 28 that it could have and could still bullishly go up and test that if the trend line holds. We're above the 9 moving average on the daily, so technically still everything is a-okay on Link, right? It just might be the first warning signs with these wicks and trend lines and red candles and losing some 5 moving average, some smaller moving average. Yeah, we might be trying to roll over and come back down to $21 area. Well, if it does that, I don't want to ride that crap down. What the hell? Just coming back and looking at Link, just appreciate it. Nice double bottom there. This red line is our 236 Fibonacci. It's just a little below the neckline there of that nice double bottom. Came back, retested that area, trend lines and whatnot, and then we pumped to Valhalla, and we got rejected at the rejected point, the 786 fib. From this high to that low, that simple gave us a target. That target hit, nailed it, and that's that. Now we look for a pullback idea, right? So since this happened here on the bigger time frames, that is our new, possibly yet to be totally confirmed, top. We're going to assume it because, well, that's a pivot area. We'll play that idea. And now we got some new target areas for Link where it should be coming down to test. The two notable ones that I'm looking for is going to be the 236, where if we're being sneaky bullish and trying to do something sneaky and bust us to the upside, which is extremely rare. But I'll entertain that idea and see how, we might range here until we lose it. But the first area that we might get some short-term bounces, and that might be if you're using a higher leverage perpetual future trade on the smaller time frame. It's good to know this idea that, hey man, you might want to take a little bit of profit at $23 lower $23 area. And then I got this juicy little area down here, just a little bit above $20. A little bit above our high here. Are you working on one of them 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of deals? Because that would do it. If she's doing the little Elliott wave thing, that would make a beautiful, that'd make the perfecto wave 4 right there. And this would be the top of the wave 1. Elliott, do you see that? Is that what you're seeing too? Yes, Elliott sees it too. Okay, cool. Or down here. That's it could. Oh yeah, it could. Yeah, okay, Elliott. Good, fair point. And bottom of the trend line too. $18. Why do we come from $27 down to 18? What if that happens? Or even 27 to 20. Now, any kind of short ideas, even from where we are now, down to that area is about 12 to 20% just on 1x spot prices. 5x would be what? Would that be 100%? Just a 5x? 5 times 20%. So you could double up doing a 5x trade if there's a setup to be found to get us down to those areas. And that's what I think we should kind of look at those ideas. If this is in fact our wave 3, it's at a top place to look at, right? Let's come down to the 4 hour and see what you're saying, because our little 5th wave in this little move from the bottom here with our A, B, C correction. So it's suggesting that we might be bouncing here temporarily, coming back up to $25. And maybe a lot of people said, look, we were covering, we're bullish, and maybe we are. Or maybe that's where we finally come down and then we go for our C wave, which is down here. So this could be tricky for a lot of people right now. And even following a trend line, I mean, you'll be sitting there looking, just wait for confirmation if we break it or bounce. And if we bounce, it might start looking bullish, but then remember, one little trick that I am using right now to help me figure this stuff out, Fibonacci. You're playing the rule of the Fibonacci. I'm looking at the 0.5. I'm not giving a damn about the 618. Love the 618. It's got its place. It doesn't have its place every time you pull a fib, though. It just doesn't. But what this 0.5 is going to tell us is if are we going to come down here to these areas, or even worse, with that 0.5, they can come down to even lower areas. So I put a lot of stock right now to see how we react up here, and that's at $25. If we get past $25, get up and start hanging around $25.50, especially if we break past $25.50, we get past the 618, then I'm not going to be as nervous about this. But until we do that on this one, it does open up possibilities for these lower fib areas. Stronger than you would like to play around with. I'm assuming. Because I really don't know what you like to play around with, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get Elliot off the screen. Elliot, do you mind exiting? Thank you for exiting the building there. So Link is looking kind of interesting. And from what we can gather here, this would make an excellent place to plan a short. We are at support areas now. We're at the bottom of the trend line, and shorting support is like buying the top. It's not the best move. Not the best move. You'd have better luck longing from here than trying to short from here. But she come back up here to about $24, $25 area. Look for a what that can entertain that area because we're retesting this M top at a key reversal area for a possible bigger pullback that might be occurring over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And since we missed all this up here for any kind of idea like that, this is our second chance to entertain those ideas. And there's still a chance that maybe it'll just do what it was supposed to do and bounce off this trend line and go for higher highs. Well, I know you'll feel stupid, won't you, road dog? No, I took profits on that. That was good. I had a position of Link, and it was beautiful. I put about 150 Link over in spot margin. Now, a year ago, when we had our crash in April 24, this position got liquidated. It sure did. Left me with, I think, somewhere about, I don't know, man. It was about 1/10 of this. It was about 15 Link. Left me with about 15 Link when that got liquidated and that dropped, because I was trying to save it. And I didn't have my technique as perfected as I do now. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near perfected, but at least I haven't had any more situations like that, knock on wood. But so I took that down to 150, and I have been working so hard on this past freaking year since we dropped in summer of last year to get that 15 up. Now I have a bag of 93, and I've locked that in. I've had to work my ass off with all the up and downs and all the accumulations, buying and selling, trying to accumulate this little, not adding money. I'm recycling that 15 over and over and over with spot margin to finally build it up all this time, not even near the original amount. Now, when I had this position on spot margin and had 50 of them over there, my actual position size was somewhere around like, I don't know, probably about 700 coins. So that was my position size. I ain't nowhere near building back to there, but I would at least like to recover what my original thing was without having to put another penny into the market. Man, it's been hard, but it can be done. It can be done. But what really makes it happen is when number go up. We need number to go back up to the places that she fell from, because it was over here where those 700 positions look. That's amazing. Look, honey. Look. Yeah. It feels like it can just keep on going. Not taking profits as you should. Getting stupid and drunk on euphoria and trying not to. I'm trying my best to be rational, but it still sneaks in just enough to make you make the wrong freaking decisions. That's a Bukowski measure move. You nailed that up there at $30, Chainlink. I don't think I ever gave you credit for that. Oh, it's a new measure move. Looking in retrospect, it looks like it's got a good chance to play out there. My bad. I'm getting silly. I may come over to the chat and get back on topic here. Bobby says, that's dope. I wish I was better at recycling coins. Next cycle, I'm ready. I don't know if I'm going to use the same strategy next cycle with the spot margin. Not with altcoins anyway. Bitcoin, yeah. Altcoins, I will probably wait until the last section of the cycle, if we can determine that, the last little run, like, and start playing with altcoins. I will probably play with very few the next time around, until the thing starts getting in. Until we get a good rejection out of Bitcoin dominance, I'm going to wait for Bitcoin dominance to top out where I touch altcoins, even with the dollar. I say that now, of course, the degen will come in and say, well, $50 here is not going to hurt, is it? I'm sure there will be degen plays, but it's not going to be my main play. Anita, can you please take a look at ladies to see if we will dump more next week? Did we dump today? Did it dump today? Why am I not getting a lot of, I put laddies. Well, that might be give us a different answer there. Let's see. Oh, we're still in our zone here. And I still maintain that this pattern that we're in has a 64% chance to break up. It's at the bottom of it. It is at the bottom of it. I know it looks scary. There is still this chance to come down here. There still is that chance at that 2.7. We talked about that. So the chances of it doing that, well, let's look at this. Now here's what we got going in our favor. It's bottom out stochastics on the weekly. I do think it is at bottom or very near bottom. Momentum wave is starting to curve under. So I'm hoping that we actually do hold this area for all these weeks for the past, since the end of July. So for the past few weeks, that's as low as we made it. It's as low as we made it. So we can look at these next wicks at 27, and we've got that area. Well, actually a little bit higher on the trend line. But we don't want to break the trend line at all. And hitting that little wick there would do it. This candle body, we haven't broken past that. That's at 0.029. We haven't even hit that yet. I still think it's got a good chance for it to hold. Let's look at MACD. She's starting to get a little wishy-washy here. It would be beautiful if this will just start curving up, but let's just say what usually happens is break down, but it's not wanting to yet. I mean, it's being slow. It's slow walking it. If it's going to do it, it's kind of slow walking it. All right, let's come to the daily on it and see what we got. And I can see why that would be scary. We're below the 9 moving average. I think it's got a good chance, in my personal opinion, to still try to hold here, but dropping that little, how many percent is that? What would that be from here down here? Dropping about another 8%, 7 to 8%. I mean, that could. It's not too much. We're so close to bottom area. There is more for me, and my personal opinion, buying these areas, even if it does come down lower, this is the area to DCA into. This is the area to start building a position, because it's got a better chance to come back up to the areas it's seen even just recently, just a couple of months ago, than it does to just keep trashing and going to zero. This is a bigger project that's had a history before, and man, there's a great place to double your money from these areas getting in. Building a bag here, there's a great place to double it and moonbag it. Just when it comes down there. It's just, this is a tricky time. This is why bottom feeding is so hard, because you got to do it little by little, and you can get a lot of movement through here. I mean, there can be lots of ups and downs through here before it finally does that. And that's your opportunities. So if it does come down, I mean, by my strategies of bottom feeding, be buying. It does look like it might hit, let's see, the daily is starting to give us, are you starting to give us something? There's some more room for the stochastics to come down here and for the momentum wave to come down. It is saying that. So it doesn't have to happen, but if it does, I mean, it's another buying opportunity. But this pattern, and I'm watching it, keep our eye on it, because regardless of what direction price comes into this pattern, it does have, let me get that right, what? Wait a minute, let's go over here. Let's go back to atomic. You're right, angled. You or that one? It should have a 55% chance to break up. I thought we saw that it was 60. I don't think that was the right one. 24 people hanging out. I think I might be starting to bore some people with some of this stuff. We're looking for a right-angled broadening formation, and you would be ascending. So the ascending ones, that's where the top is going up and the bottom is staying the same. That's what we're looking at. Now this one, yeah, I was right. 55%. I think I'm confusing with another thing that we looked at. 55% chance to break. Wait a minute, did I put it on here? It was one that we actually just looked at recently. I'm going to type it in here just to make a note of it, just to document it. So we'll come over to our text. 55% chance. But one thing that I want to do is we're going to say price coming into price trend can be up. 74% have a rising price trend leading to the pattern. So he's not ruling it out, but usually you're looking for this to be a continuation pattern, price rising into it. Price came down. So, oh man. It's got a throwback rate of 63 if it breaks to the downside to come back up. I'm just making sure I'm crossing my P's and Q's right here. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. So it's better, a little better, if prices coming into the pattern. But he's not making a note that it has to only, or that's the only one to look for. So maybe 55% chance breakout. So I want to watch that, and until we get anything different, then I'm going to continue with this. And I know a lot of people are looking shoulder, head and shoulder, but I don't look for those down. I don't look for top reversal patterns at bottom areas. I don't believe that is the correct way to interpret that idea. Even though it can lead to downward action, I don't believe that that's the little monster we're looking at there. Let's take a look now at BNB. Another one that's kind of hanging up there, right? Is that a possible short? A double top scenario here. Swing failure pattern. And she didn't quite get as high as we wanted her to get high. We have seen that on Bitcoin and seen that on altcoins, man. On a lot of them. A few of them did make it, but I would be looking for this, and we didn't quite get that. So, are you trying to fake me out? Are you trying to double top on me? It could be. How would we know? Well, trend lines kind of help us more than anything. And so there's our main trend line that we're looking at for BNB. Here would be the most recent one. And we broke it, came back up, bearish retest. A couple of them. Reinforcing that, hey man, trend line broken. 200 moving average on this 4-hour time frame is sitting around a little below $800. And that's just if we come down here and bounce. So we could see an argument, make an argument that it's a good chance that this little guy might be falling 5%, and on 10x leverage, that's 50%. So if you wanted to take some kind of short idea, I mean, this would be the idea to come to a smaller time frame and see if there's a setup, right? Losing a red line, which is normally a 236 fib area, unless I got lazy, so I don't know, or a 272. Are you? You're at 113 from this. They color code you right. So we are losing a oh, and you were, I did not nail this. I didn't have this up there. But yeah, she's at a place where she can get a nice little pullback and be the norm. So I'm going to take this little local run here, and also our fib area is coming in at 807. Gosh darn it. You would be wicking out of here if you tried to do that. Let's look for some more support over here. Notice I use trend lines and channels to try to figure things out too. It's just something to help you see something that some people will be looking for that, and then some people have no clue to try to look at that as an area of support. And I like to combine my methods. I like to see what the trend lines say, especially compared to the Fibonacci, and also especially compare it to these 5 moving average strategy. And coming back down here, if that were to happen, it would break this trend line, but you do have some possible support there, and then also at a deeper level down here, about 670. Imagine that scenario. Now, I don't think that would happen. That's got to confirm and break below this 0.5 fib area. So I guess you are going to come into play, aren't you, in this scenario? Not saying that any of this is going to happen. This is what we're looking for. Trend lines first, then possibly the lower fib lines. I gotta color code it. So if a situation like that were to happen, losing this top area, the double top pattern possibly hasn't yet confirmed till we break past 810. That would complete the M pattern, and then a target could be down here at the base of the possible bigger M. And I mean, there can be a bearish negative. Oh, this is the top, and we're coming all the way down to 600 again or something. We can make those narratives, but it doesn't mean they're going to play out. BNB is a strong coin, but there can be some shorting ideas here. Let's come down to smaller time frame. I gotta say, these little guys are kind of bullish right here. So first area I would be looking at is bottom trend line. That guy might hold down here at 800. Not much of a drop. Not much of a drop. Not much, about almost 4%. 10x leverage, that'd be 40% if we get down there. And there's our trend line that we broke, bearish retest of it. So I think it's got a good chance. Now the pattern, any pattern turns, so look, we're looking for an inverted head and shoulder. I would not be looking for a bottom reversal pattern at a top. I would not. Any ideas of this being a flag to the upside is in question because we broke a trend line. Not saying it can happen. Not saying that that idea cannot. And until it breaks this particular Fibonacci area, that idea, it could still have something, but they play out a lot more favorably if they don't break that trend line. You're more likely to see that happen. But it has been respected in this area down here at 818, so got you on the back burner, So So losing this area would well, that would be almost akin to losing the M pattern that we were talking about earlier. So either of those ideas could be in play here. I really like these moving averages there. I'm coming down to the 2 hours. She just recently put a green dot in. Are you trying to do something? Okay, so let's see what kind of happens here. They're trying to cross bearishly over here. It just hasn't been. Are we just going to kind of fill this out? We might even just fill out this little symmetrical pattern that we're trying to work on, and then it might drop. Because still, we lost this main trend line. That means something, folks. That means something. That's a big thing. That means that this trend line is going to be resistance. And flag chasers don't really see that. And they're like, oh, I wonder why it only went up so far and then fell back down. Well, I would look at the trend line for that. Because, look, it broke out and then it only come up here and double topped. Oh, we had to sell early. Our big plan for it to go to the flagpole would never accomplish because trend line resistance, baby. Trend line resistance. Those ideas. I'm just trying to share ideas. May show what some other people that are quickly to throw a flagpole up there are not looking at, or not seeing, or don't have it as part of their strategy, and is a good reason as to why you might see a lot of those patterns not play out, or they just put the kind of lackluster. But they're the people that are throwing them out are just looking for the, okay, if that one doesn't play out, we're just looking for the next flag. Just looking for the next flag. Just looking for the next flag. And I got to say, if there's any novice technique to use in a full-fledged bull market, that would be one to teach a beginner. But it's very risky. It would only, your best results would be in a strong bull market to chase flags. And and when we start getting moves up, that's cool. They can be some flags, but when we start going sideways, topping out, reaching pivot points, them flags can become your worst enemy, my man. And the guru flag chasers aren't looking at that. They're not talking about that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me come over to looks like a triple bottom on ladies. Let's hope so. Yeah, that could fall in within that pattern too. Yeah, they can overlap. Crypto manipulation trader, Road Dog, could you look at SWE and ETH, please? I sure can. Let me mark that down on my list here. And let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay. And Anita says you turned all the ladies to zombie. Oh, we are kind of missing. You know what? We need a dancer out here. We've not had her out in a while. Let's see if we can balance the sentiment. Let's get rid of one of the zombies. And we'll get a classy lady out here dancing with a banana. Meet Damien says, love the girl in the thumbnail to this video. What's her name? It's whatever you want it to be, honey. Meet Damien. Shout out to Meet Damien who went live today. I gave you a shout out earlier, very quickly with you and Joe, and also another shout out for Joe. He's very deserving of shout outs, my people. Joe, if you're not subscribed to him, why not? What the hell? You need a crypto roster. A crypto, I won't say influencer, crypto analyst roster. Especially if you're newer to the game, you've been in this game for less than a cycle. Pick some people that come follow some of us that have done a cycle or two or three. All right, I've been through three. I can't say that I knew everything in the first two. Okay, I can't say that, but I've learned a lot in those three cycles, especially the last two. This one and the previous one, a lot. And it might be what you need to hear to keep you from having your ass handed to you, as well as what you hear from Joe, and also what you might hear from Meet Damien. And if you like my style, if you like fibs, and moving averages. He also uses those. Okay, you can see some overlap. Maybe not the exact same thing. Maybe not the exact same interpretation. That's the beauty of watching other people. Somebody else might have a little tidbit the other one didn't think to look at, or doesn't look at it in that manner, and it might be the little thing that makes something click inside your head for what's going on and what you're dealing with. We don't have to agree 100% or anything, but you might see some overlap. And I like that he had a live stream today, and I have not got to watch it all because I had an appointment. I had to cut it short. I'm hoping, I'd like to hear, I don't know if he told his story, but I'd like to find out how he got introduced to, because we used the MACD and some of the same indicator. I'd like to see how how long, what brought him to those. And it might have been a trading group he was in. It's kind of my story behind it. A little piece by piece with what seems to work. Because I've got to say, he's the only other YouTuber I've seen that uses a lot of the same things that I do. I've been wondering, is there anybody else that does something similar to what I do? And he's the first one that I found that does something along a lot of similarities. And the only reason I've used these is because this has been the strongest things that I've found that has turned the light on to help me navigate it, man. Out of everything that I've tried, I've found ways to work these things together that help me figure it out. And I may lean toward one or lean toward the other, and that's what helps us. But the biggest things is trend lines and horizontal supports, which I use the fibs for mostly. All right, let's take a look at we're going to take a look at Avalanche per request. Avalanche is, $22 is not bad. It's not up here at $27 area where it just briefly stayed there, gave it up. But as far as a profit taking area, to make sure you're getting paid, not a bad idea, since Avalanche did something very nasty over here, losing this major trend line. That was February of this year, right before Liberation Day, took it down to some very lows. But until then, $27 was its norm. Right now, $27 area that we topped out at was basically a retest of the breakout area right there. That's one of the things that we look at in pattern trading, or trend line trading too. It falls over into that, but always a breakout of whatever line that we retest. Don't know that all the pattern traders out there that's something that needs to be thrown out by pattern gurus out there, and some of the popular ones I see don't mention that enough. I try to mention this stuff because this would have been stuff that would help me when I was learning this. And I feel like you don't get it unless you dig for it, and then it's not talked about. So I try to share some little tidbits like that. All right, I'm losing people. They're tired. We're tired of the boring TA. 19 people hanging out. Thank you so much for being here. If you can, if you don't mind. If you haven't already.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
See, that's the way it's supposed to work, Sean. I'm ready for him when he comes out. He's not trying to give me a heart attack. Can we keep that up? Can we keep that up? Make that a part of the way the show works, Sean, please. Usually he scares the bejesus out of me. All right, so here on the daily Avalanche, now there's a good sign here. I see something very positive, which is a bullish cross of the 100 over the 200, although it's a little lackluster. And one notable thing happens when we get bullish cross of 100 over 200. It is not unsurprising for me to see price fall back and actually test that little sucker to make sure it's real. So, but we could definitely see that. We might even see 20. Can we see? There's also lower areas. So all these altcoins seem to be trying to make something that looks like an M top, right? And you're going to hear that a lot. A lower high. And a lower high can often lead to a lower low. We might be looking at $20, might be looking $18, $19. It could happen. It would lose major trend lines, which we're trying to do. However, we got a 50 moving average there, a bullish crossover here. There's some good things to look at. And so it's a perfect opportunity for it to find support on the 50, and this just be a little fake out of this little. It's not cleared a candle yet on the daily. So you will hear, the responsible traders will tell you this because you need to do this, and it's a conservative move, not a degen move, but to wait till you get a new candle forming under a trend line before you make your. And that takes patience here on the daily. You still got 24 hours to wait, man, to see if you close a candle. Yes. So with those theories, you still got some time. And the fear is, oh man, there's going to be this giant candle that comes out here, a big dingle dangle that's bigger than John Holmes to the downside. That can be a fear here when you break a trend line going off in your brain, but that's what we wait for confirmation. And look at some multiple time frames. I think I talk enough about that, and I don't know if I let enough of us do that. That is a key thing. Using multiple time frames. There was one point in this, I was like, I didn't have an idea about that. I didn't know that you could be so fluid. You'll see me jumping around from time frame to time frame. And it's basically taking larger time frames, middle time frames, and smaller time frames and interpreting them. Doesn't really matter so much which one. I got a few favorites that I'm used to and understand how they react to each other. 4 hour being a good one. Here we lost that trend line. We got a lot of these moving averages. Man, you're looking like you want to come down a little bit. Why is you breaking the trend lines? Are you wanting to come down? That's what it's telling us. A lower high is a good shot for a lower low or a fake out. Ruth would be setting up for a fake out too. And you might be thinking, well, gosh darn it, that does not make me figure out this market. What else we got? We got moving averages doing what they need to do here on the 4 hour. That's a big reason why I watch this. They're trying to turn bullish. This is a correct. You look at this. You only get what's going on when you look in the bigger picture. And you're in this big ass range down here in the bottom. I know we lost a trend line, and that just means this is going to be resistance. This is going to be harder to get above $30, $35 for Avalanche. But as far as collecting this little sucker and building a bag for when altcoins do finally decide to come back up to the upper ranges of where we've been, this is the perfect area to build these bags. I'm going to. I'm tempted to. I'll just erase what I've drawn. I don't want to erase everything. All this stuff is still good. This is a possible double bottom trying to form here. It just has not confirmed. So a pattern is not going to confirm until that neckline breaks. I'm sorry, it's just not. Until that confirms, you can come back in range and still be in accumulation. It could be doing something. Look, it's a double bottom. Oh, look, now we got to say it's a triple bottom. And I guess you can pawn that off as trying to just be fluid in this market. You do need to be fluid. But the confirmation won't come until we get about $27, $28 on Avalanche. And until then, we could be ranging. This is the perfect area. The perfect area to be building a bag of Avalanche. Why it's cheap. I mean, of course, the best spots would have been down at 16, right? Yeah. Everybody can't nail it or doesn't even think about Avalanche when it's at 16. The market's tanking. Everybody's scared, trying to cover their asses and what, because that's usually what's happening when we're down at those areas. The whole market's freaking out. Too scared to buy at those areas, or don't have the means to do it because they're chased. Hold my hand up. That happens to me. I bought too much at the top, bought too much in the middle of the range, bending a few rules and watching them catch up with you is usually what that translates to. But that's okay. It's a range, baby. We can deal with it. We can deal with it. If we can identify our weaknesses, if we can be honest with ourselves what our weaknesses are in trading and investing, we can make better plans to kind of handicap that or offset that. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to anybody? If you know that you're a little bit of a degen and if FOMO kind of gets to you, you make plans to offset that. That's either holding money to the side on a different place, or you don't have to have it there to tempt you so much. I had to do that. Setting rules, making little notes, maybe a little journal. There's a lot to be said about a journal, although I gotta admit, I'm not one to sit here and write and remember to go and look over stuff. That takes a little bit more effort and discipline, but if you're really struggling, that's a good thing to help you kind of realize things. Maybe just making some little notes on your chart, like what I have to do. Something you've got to realize where you're struggling, and then we try to find a cure for it in our trading journey. But here, avalanche, lower high. Don't know that it's going to come down here. I don't know, but it's got a good chance to be coming down here sometime if this trend line breaks. It's also got, until that trend line breaks, a damn good chance to come back up and either make a pennant and then break, or work on trying to come up here to 34,000. We're all in a juicy little range. Basically, anywhere under $24 by the fib strategy that I endorse here on the show. Anywhere below here is the great little DCA accumulation, however you want to do it, for your trading or DCA to build up a big ass bag. Anywhere between $16 and $24 for Avalanche, because when she gets going, she'll double up easy. When we come back and like, oh my God, Avalanche is at $40 now. Oh my gosh, it's at $54. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Because I was really scared when it was at 23. That's where we are right now. All right, let's take a look at MIN over here on Deck Screener. I think it's over here. Actually, let's look it up. I want to find out what it is. MIN, it may not even show up. It may not. Okay, I guess we gotta go to Deck Screener. So this was a request that we got, and let me type you in MIN. Is this what is that, methane side by virtuals? And then there's something else against trading against Cardano. So it looks like this one's on base, and one, it looks like it may be a Cardano project. Now I'm thinking, since I had a request for Cardano, which I have not gotten to yet, that might be what we're looking for. I'm going to briefly take a look at this one by virtuals. That one seems to have the most volume, and although it's not the oldest one over here. That's probably what we're talking about, because she's doing pretty good, right? So that's my guess. Let me come back to the chat, see if I got anything. I don't know if we got I don't know what my delay is like tonight. Hey, we got a super chat from Ave Vagina. Could you take a look at Soul ETH? Looks like the bottom. I sure can, my man. I'll do that next. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. We'll continue on with men real quick. Jessica Mendoza, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Take a look at Solana. We will. Crypto manipulation. Hi, Road Dog. Please look at SWE before you go. I've got you on the list here. I got you on the list. I'll try to go through these coins a little bit quicker. Got 20 more people here. You'll see me wrap up. If I see something that might be teachable, might help people, though, I want to try to do that. Okay, because we're at an area where a lot of people are kind of wondering, what the hell is happening. I mean, I'm even wondering that too. We don't know for sure, but we know what to look for to give us those clues, and we're at these levels to start telling us something. All right, I was starting to write something down and squirrel. So we got Sweet ETH. I've got can you look at Solana ETH? All right, that's where we're going next. Right there. After we get through, we come back to this one. This one looks cool and everything. We're on Deck Screener. I don't have my complete tool setups, like fib setups over here just yet. Oh snap! You did pretty good on that. All right, let's look at her. To me, it looks like this was a possible 3, 4, 5 wave. It could be on the 5-way ABC. Oh my God, you're sounding like an Elliott Wave person. We don't have Elliott Wave on our Deck Screener, I don't believe. Or do you? Do you have Elliott Wave? I forgot how we found it. That would be cool. I'd like to see what Elliott says, because I think it might be. Oh, no, I don't think they have the. Oh, it was an indicator. I don't think you got it. It's not a tool. It's an indicator. Nope, they do not have it. They have no Elliott Wave. Okay, so we just gotta trust that Rodolph has a pair of gas. But I see this as being a possible 5, and then ABC correction might be happening here. And we're going to check our fibs. We'll do this. You said you were going to stay here all day. Oh, I gotta get an answer. You went to the 2.36. Were you a 0.5 retracement? Well, now I've got to be curious because this is part of my learning process. Where did you come back? You were 786. And you were a 786. That's curious why we're hitting this. How we hit this area. That's what I'm trying to decipher here. So I did not nail this or anything of that sort. I would say you have got a good chance for that to be a nice place for this one to find a stronger pullback. And if you're looking at levels or even breakouts, you got to kind of look to the past and kind of reverse engineer. And there is a good chance that we might come back and see this one on Uniswap come back down to this area about 0.00075 area at the breakout, right around there, and 8.008 right in that area. I can't find my little, where are you, price labels. That would be one thing I'd be looking for. We can also pull our fibs from here to there, and we see we're testing a 382 now from this new high. Maybe that'll stick. You got a trend line that's trying to happen, and so far we got these ideas. All right, a little bit of a deeper correction might happen there. So we want to see if this will happen. If it makes a higher low here at 0.0016 and respects that trend line, it could be going up for a higher target. In that case, I would be looking at this for a possible target. At 0.003 area, if that happens. However, if we lose it and we come down, I would be looking at this 0.008 area for a place to possibly retest and buy. And that's what we're getting on the 4 hour over here. So far, a local pattern. It's nice. It's an expanding pattern, and there is a chance. I mean, these are bears by nature. They eventually do break to the downside. Did I just move that off of the fifth line? I might have. I don't know. 0.0015 area. So we can see we this can hold, and we can just expand, and come over to these without a problem. Get to these higher areas. That's the bullish scenario. Bear scenarios if we come down here. All right, let's take a look at Solana, Ethereum. Oh, not here on Dick's screen though. Take a look at Sol against Ethereum. I'm just, oh, here's one on Binance. Cool, I'll just go ahead and get that one. That should have some good price history, I would think. Let's zoom out. How far do they go back? December 2021? Oh, yeah, that's a good price history enough. For Solana hadn't been down too long. Been out all that long. So if we looked at this before and drew that trend line, unless I just did in the last few minutes and totally forgot about it, that totally could have happened. I do not know. I honestly don't know if I already drew that tonight or... Oh my God. That's probably why right there. Anyway. Let's go from swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. That's what I'll... Ooh, look at you. You wicked off of that on the daily. Oh. Let me tailor you in there. How accurate? Maybe. Oh. Right there, baby. You're right there at it. Might we have bottomed out? I mean, we didn't touch it perfectly to my drawing. It doesn't have to. It might have done it on another exchange and be just fine. There's some wiggle room in here. Or we might come down as part of a bigger, a bottoming formation and just kind of solidify it. So Solana to Ethereum got up to 0.08. Solana. 2.08 to buy a Solana up here. Now it only takes it takes half of that to buy a Solana. Half of that in Ethereum to buy Solana. So we do like this area here. That looks juicy. If Ethereum outpaces Solana, if it's still going to outpace Solana, then we do have this lower area, the 786. Let's see what else we got going on. Man, we got this big ass wick over there. What are you doing? I don't really see a really. I mean, I guess we can. It looks more triple top than M pattern. So I'm not sure that I see a harmonic thing going on there. Your deep ass retrace would be down here. That would have to give us some ribbon flipping, and I'm not seeing yet, but it's looking like, oh, it could happen. But you still here on the daily. Our bigger moving averages come in to give me a peace of mind. They give me the clue here, the 800, 600, 360. Those look okay. 200's over here, and we are way below it. And we do like to stay near the 200. We like to touch base with the 600. That's at 0.06. That idea alone, bouncing off of this 382 area, makes you think we could at least get, if we broke this trend line, the bearish retest of it, right? Or some kind of retest, whether it's bearish or not. And so that kind of hints that we'll first area to come back up here to 0.055 with the possibility of coming up higher to these areas over here, 0.65. Just looking at levels, just eyeballing levels. We haven't even pulled a fib from a possible bottom here. So we know that that could be an area to bounce, and it looks like it's trying. So we'll take this as our local bottom. Color code U, we will pull our new fib from the very high to the very low. And that gives us our juicy red line here. The one that helps us figure out how strong of a move and first target to look for. First official fib target. Even though there's a little bit of room above it, right? 0.55. But the fib is down this 0.502 area. Anywhere below that is a juicy place, or a potentially juicy place to accumulate, providing that we don't go lower than what we got here. A juicy place to maybe accumulate some of this. A little risky since we're below the 800 and all that, and there's a chance. What I'm looking for, we might be coming down in range and making a bottom pattern, something like that. Is likely to be what we see here, likely, rather than it just bouncing and going up, although that could happen too. But these would be the areas I'd be starting to target just to make a play to take a little profit, get paid. And if we do see that, so what is starting to spell that Solana maybe is trying to temporarily gain on Ethereum for a minute. It's been losing for a while since April. Since April, we had our Liberation Day. And from Liberation Day, or a little bit after Liberation Day, it's a little after Liberation Day, Solana, or Ethereum started outperforming Solana, falling 50%. So in hindsight, you can see from that idea, unless you were trying to do that, that would have been the best place to sell your Solana for Ethereum. And now we might be trying to work that backwards. And this might be a good place to sell your Ethereum for some Solana. And then maybe sell it, take a little profit when it's up about 36% up there on spot. Got some bullish divergence going on over here on the daily. That was looking cool. Let's come down to the smaller time, the 4 hour, and see what that's looking like. These guys have flipped bearish. They started flipping over here. Now they're fanning out, and we're at an area of support. When they fan out and we're at an area of support, we start looking for the smaller ones to start crossing bullishly, right? We start looking for us to maintain above the 9 moving average, which we're starting to do here on the 4 hour. You might notice any kind of bottom patterns here, and to me. Some people might be trying to look for some kind of Adam and Eve formation, a double little Eve there. Easiest thing, in my opinion, is track a trend line, which you're at resistance for the original one. So we're at resistance area now, trying to get above the 100 moving average, and these areas over here. So we might not make it this time, or if it does, and it gets above this trend line, man, we might see this area over here come kind of quick. That would be cool. But until that happens, what normally happens is a little pullback, and that pullback is why we take this new trend line into account here, because it's got some nice candle bodies there that respect this angle. So it's a good chance we'll get a pullback, and then somewhere around 0.042, 0.03 would be a good place to add back in. And that's basically about where we were at 0.357. It doesn't not much of a variation, but we're talking about Ethereum here, which is still somewhere around $4,000 a coin, right? So still ranging down here. Let's go ahead, take our fib from this high down to here. We'll do the same thing. We'll draw our 236. This is how I kind of test the strength. So we're testing that right now. So I was looking at the possibility that she might get rejected and come back down. It might happen, Ichimoku Cloud suggesting, even if it does happen, it looks like it's still trying to come and break out, and we're finally starting to see it gain. I would be looking for a possible breakout on this one. On the 4 hour, get above the 100. It may be iffy for a little while, but it looks like she's trying to break out, get out of this little zone. If I can quit doubling it up, I'm just going to give it a new price label and knock it up here, 0.045. The fibs have got these market, the 0.05 gets up to this bottom area, and the 618 gets up to this congested area. Still, the sweet spot to looking for the longer play would be breaking here and that 5.5 area. And probably we'll get some resistance, stronger resistance up through there. So there's a possibility if we can clear this area, man, there could be a nice 20 to 28% move coming out of Solana ETH setup here. Nice. We'll take our trend lines, and it's steep. There's a breakout retest of that, so that's good. At some point we'll get, more than likely, this is a little trick that I like to do. Actually, I think I want to do it different. Can I find it? I used to use this. I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, no, it's not you. I think you're over here. Oh, that's why I don't use you. Okay. And we got a channel tool. You can take that, and then you can put this little guy up here at the top, and then we can just, it's the easy, I don't do it this way, but you can. Easier way to draw. I'd still just use my trend lines. But at least that will give you parallel angles for what you find. And so we look at the top of that for resistance, and I'll just go ahead and take it all the way to the wiki there. So, oops. I gotta expand it up this way. Put it up to the very top there. And immediately straight up, we can see our resistance point. Maybe it wicks out to get it, or maybe it just falls against a trend line. But there's a possibility that could be happening as a trend line as area resistance. And just using the angles there as a little confirmation. 0.405 should be a good first area. Then you take the idea of a measured move, try to figure out, well, where's it going to go? Where can it go? And so we can do these ideas. It's a channel, so it's going to be the same no matter where you take it. Some people might want to say, but you gotta take it where it touches. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, a little OCD, but okay. Wherever it breaks out, and we're just going to assume that it's, we don't know. If it does break out here, it would go beautifully there. We can't do a measure move. You can't do an official measure move until you get an actual breakout, until there's a projection. And what you do see on YouTube sometimes with some of the more popular morning little pattern traders out there, when they do it, they'll put it before a breakout and make the move, mark it, and then just leave it there. And then after the breakout, they don't really come back and back test and look at any idea previously and adjust it. They're on to the next little flag, chasing just the, not my style, but a lot of people apparently like to try to do that and day trade the small time frames like that with those. I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing, but I just got a prediction that a lot of them are probably, they could probably find some stronger strategies to use. All right, so Solana, I think it's got some licks. This is a 4-hour. I'm going to take a picture of this and we'll just put it over in the trading group so we can kind of put it over in the chart room and document it over there. Thank you, my man, for the super chat. I hope that was helpful. It looks like it's got a chance to end a bottoming range, and maybe she's getting ready to pop up now. We'll look for that. And if she does get rejected, then it's just trying to make a possibly a bottoming pattern here. But that's a bullish channel that it's in, even though it's not gotten all the touches it needs to make an excellent channel. This is Sol ETH. And this is on the 4-hour. And I'm just going to label this as swing targets. $18 people hanging out. Let's go to ZBCN. Take a quick look at that one. ZBank Network. Popular coins. Look at it. I guess MXC's got it. Futures. We looked at it over here before. Lost the trend line coming down, retesting the 360 moving average. The 382 did not hold for the possible big move to the upside. It made an M top there, so breaking this area here and even breaking that 382 helps confirm that. So now, most likely, we're probably coming back to touch the bottom of this trend line. This previous Fibonacci that we had from the high to the low, that little guy that we break out of and everything. So yeah, we might come back and retest that area. Let's get some of these lines out, clean this chart up so we can kind of spell our way forward. We did get rejected at a 786 rejection area. That's normal. And we pulled our fibs from there. That's where we got these levels. We don't need you anymore. So now we can go swing low to swing high, and that's where we had those little areas. Oops, are you off a little bit, or did I move you? And we seem to be respecting this 0.5 right now. Now we dipped below it, and then we came back above it. And maybe that will catch. Let's well, that's not what I was trying to do. The 618 is down by the bottom of the trend line area, the bigger trend line. So if we start coming back toward this guy over here to retest it, even though we can still hit it, it's more likely that we might bounce off of this 618 area. So let's keep an eye out on that guy. If, say, we come back up and then we find some rejection back up here, we bearishly retest the level that we just lost, we might see something like that happen. Why are we listening to here? All right, and we'll continue this trend line out, and then you see, yeah, that helps us spell out also. That's also talking about this area right here. So I'm looking for a possible rejection right up here. And then maybe a bearish retest. That's what could happen. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen or anything like that. This is just, you know, it has a stronger possibility that that's what we're looking at since we lost levels. So ZBCN could be going back up to 0.0046 and then could see a lower low from that as it corrects. And that wouldn't be unhealthy. That would still be okay. And then maybe from there we can go and work for a higher high. Let's take a look at Caspa. 21 people hanging out. Thank you so much. Caspa lost its levels over here. Bad idea. So we're looking at this as a mega boom batter. Oh my God, it's just got such a measured move. Look, Caspa's coming down to what? Oh my God, watch everybody unsubscribe, but it does match up with this line. We're going to draw the line there. The beautiful thing about this pattern is that there is a percentage of the breakdown. It's about 50%. And instead of just trying to pull this out of memory, I'm going to take you to the source from it. This is Thomas Bukowski over here, index. We're looking for this little guy. It's a bearish megaphone or an opening broadening pattern. So we want to look at broadening formation. Nope. Is that what you call that? I wish he just called it a megaphone, but he doesn't call it that. So we'll look at the broadening top idea. I still don't think you're the same. No, you're symmetrical. You're not the... Oh, gosh. I can't remember exactly what Thomas Bukowski calls this. I am going to just jump out on a limb. That's the 50%. And that we're actually looking for... I'm going from memory here. I was trying to just put it out there. I can't swear that this is the percentage to target move. The multiplier that we put on the actual measured move, that where price would actually probably really bounce at. They don't always meet the measured move, in other words. So I'm looking at that with a bear case scenario that it might come down to 0.05. I'm not so much seeing this one. I'm gonna put you in gray. I don't really think that's what's happening, but I could see us coming out and bouncing off of this 0.07 area, which is just a penny and a half shorter, making a lower high and hopefully a higher low is what we need. We'll draw this little trend line here to help us visualize that. So that also comes in that area, a little bit lower though. So I want to make this a green, just a big ass green line right here. So the bottom of the trend line is about 0.0669. Don't know what happened to my price tag. It just disappeared. And I'm going to move it right back where it was, 0.07. To me, we're trying to make, let's zoom out. You're at support areas, trying to make a W pattern or some kind of bottoming pattern. The W did not confirm at this area, 13 cents. So maybe we're trapping for a 3 rising valleys type deal, another bottoming here, some variation of a triple bottom, and hopefully it will make a higher low. If not, we lose this trend line, then it and altcoins and everything else are probably going to hell in the handbasket. Not a likely scenario at this point in the game. Let's take a look at, I don't think we take a look at Cardano yet. Take a look at Cardano. I'm sorry, I left that one out of the part. Let's get rid of this so we can see what we're looking at. And now we can see it. So a higher high. And we want a higher low. We've already tested the bottom of this trend line. That was good. Don't want to see it break the trend line. Don't want to see it break this area over here. She came up a little bit past our target, went up to 101. We had about 96, and let's zoom out here. Cardano, I got to say, so our big fib area is basically saying anywhere under $1.12 based on, how high we got at $3.11 is a good place to accumulate this on the bigger picture of things. I'm saying there is some bearish divergence here on the daily, and that may give us, it may lead us to break that trend line. Huh. Okay, and we got our areas already spelled out. If it does, and we do come back, testing the bottom of the trend line, 64 cents would be the worst case scenario. But we would have to break this little guy right over here, and I'm seeing it coming in right around 78, 79 cents. We would have to do that, and we're at 84 cents. Let's come down to the 4 hour. Look at you. And the 4 hour to me looks bullish. So I'd say there's a good chance that if we do come back, the trend line should hold. 800, 600, 360, just flip bullish. 100 over the 200, flip bullish. Probably testing that 100 moving average, maybe the 200, and we should bounce from this area or through here. So I don't think she's got too much further to come. I think it's likely that she has a good chance to bounce. We can zoom in a little bit more. And 200 moving average is coming in about 82. So we'll throw an extra one up there. And so between 82 and 80 cents on the 4 hour. Let's look and see what happens there. She might be trying to. And this is cool. This is a open and broadening pattern, a megaphone pattern. It's a bearish pattern, but they're fun to play until they break, right? And it opens the possibility of 114. Now, probably not tomorrow, probably not even this week, but we might be able to bottom out here and then start working our way up to a higher high. So far, till we lose these areas, I think there's some good potential here according to these moving averages. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I went through everything that I've written down so far. Anything extra, I've not. We've been going for 2 hours, and that's about as long as I can go. About half the people here that were here before, so I thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel or hit that like button. That would greatly help this little small
For those
channel.
of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Help this little small channel become a little bit of a bigger channel. Justin Mendoza, Solana, that we looked at it on Ethereum. Let's look at Solana on to the dollar, I guess Binance. It's 181. That's actually not bad. Let me just double check. It looks like the 171 area is where we could see it. Oh, we have to redo this. Okay. So we're zooming out on Solana. Nice strong uptrend there with a questionable trend line I've got. We'll draw it down there just to be a little bit more fair. But we also got this little guy kind of here. We're deviating. This thing is curving on the daily. This thing's still got some strength. I mean, it may not feel like it, but it does. There's a. See, my curve line hits all the little areas that my straight line will not. This thing is still trying to work on parabolic. It did, like most other altcoins, disappointed us and everything, but it's at an area of support here. So I believe we can take this line, this line, and this line. Let that be our line in the sand. Bottom of that line is here at this 360. So that would maybe a wick down to 171, but I would expect these areas to start holding. The 170 area should hold on this. Believes it or not, if it doesn't, what does our divergence look like? Yeah, of course you're working on a little bit of it. Let's zoom out and get our resistance areas here. So 217, 218 maybe. So I think we saw where Solana looked like it was moving in on Ethereum, right? And so it should also start going up on the dollar too. So that kind of makes sense that this parabolic move, just a little correction here, and we might get a pleasant little bump out of this over. Well, MACD ain't seeing that so much. MACD is trying to flip bearish right now. So that might be the wick down to this area. I would expect it to be a wick. I'd think our candle bodies will probably keep this area here. That's what I'm expecting. But wicking down to there to 170, and then I think our target's going to be coming up to test about 218, 219. It's just about a 5% move down, maybe. Hoping that it holds, and maybe a 30% gain. So lower 170s could be a possibility. I mean, I might even get the higher, like 168, 169, maybe 166, the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. But I would, if it did, I would think it'd just be a quick move and then starting to catch and come back, a scare move, a little flush out. But right now on the 4 hour, she's catching some trend here. She's catching some traction on this, and I don't want to jinx that. If that can hold baby, hold that curved line, that'd be the best scenario. So 4 hour time frame right now, draw a trend line here. And I mean, depends on how you want to look at this. Ultimately, I see a channel, but a lot of people, and I used to do this, and it's still, both of them are correct, a falling wedge. No bullish divergence here between this point and that point. So let's see, maybe a lackluster breakout may take a little while before it gets up past 196. Kind of struggle through here in these areas at 185 and the 180s, but it looks like it's trying to catch some traction there, and I like that. 1 hour. Still got some work to do. It's got some work to do, but 200 moving average still coming up. Yeah, the 180s look like they got a possibility. Here on the 1 hour trend line. So within the falling wedge, our falling channel, there's another nice little channel idea here. Bullish. Measure move just from this idea. Breakout takes us up here to that 200 moving average area. So interesting. So we got the idea that maybe she's going for a breakout, or she could get rejected and then try to make another bottom. Might come back to 178 area, retest this. So we got those possibilities. It can be shaky going up. It doesn't have to be a straight line, but that could be happening. If it gets rejected here the first time, I mean, there's still another chance that it might be doing something there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it an even. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to the end screen. I just got extremely tired. Oh, I got my beat tonight in the chats. Night of the Living Turkey. Gator Squad says, I did all right tonight on some of my coins. They're holding up through this market. I'm surprised on some of them how well they're holding up, especially Link. It might take off without me. That's all right. I've still got as long as we're taking profits, we're being okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the end screen, and I don't think I have any special music picked out other than what we had last night, but let's see what we got.
It's hard to keep track of all the risks.
Let's see if we can switch this up a little bit.
With every trade, there's a chance that I might be faking, but I know that I need to take.
What's this one?
Chances to grow my portfolio and make it.
I hadn't heard this one in a while.
Crypto, it's a rush. Crypto, it's a rush.
We didn't take a last look at Bitcoin.
Grab that coin and make a play. New wallet, NFT, I dream of profits.
Oh, are you faking us out, Bitcoin? Are you faking us out? My introduction, my argument tonight is I wouldn't be surprised because I got stopped out for a big thing about 12,800. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a fake out and she starts coming back up for some kind of stronger move. Probably find some resistance, but I wouldn't doubt that you would do that to me, Bitcoin. Listen, the smaller time frames are starting to look at the 2 hours looking good, right? So Bitcoin, we could see a little bump up, but it could still roll over, right? We still got some stuff on the bigger time frames that feel like she still might be doing a little bit more downside. Maybe.
Crypto, it's a hit. In the market's glare. search it right. Don't fall in despair. Crypto, keep it tight.
That's good.
What you stake, plan your sale, or you'll crash.
Gators West says, I got a gem for tomorrow's show. I like those gems. Thank you so much for sharing. Gator, I appreciate it.
It's a fleeting spark, it burns and fades away. Greed will chain your soul, don't let it lead astray. Set your exit now, don't chase the fleeting high. Crypto's just a tool, not your
Should I buy Bitcoin now? I mean, there's a short play for it. If you wanted to take a long, it might be a let me turn this music down. There could be a short-term long, come down the smaller time frame. But up here about 115, 300, that's where we're going to start facing some resistance, and she might roll back over from there. But yeah, there could be a little play there on Bitcoin. And as far as just having it to hold, I mean, I know Bitcoin's $113,000, but if you don't have any, you need some. And I don't ever want to officially sell my Bitcoin. I'm playing with it, and I probably won't do that next time. I'll take a lot better. I'll be a lot more protective about my Bitcoin next cycle. Not using it as collateral or anything. But I'm of the opinion that you need to always be collecting Bitcoin that you don't plan to sell. And some of you guys might be thinking out there, well, what's good is it to buy something that I'm never going to sell? You'll treat your Bitcoin like real estate, and you will borrow against it, especially during hard times. And it is an asset that is just as good as owning part of the big skyscraper in downtown New York. It's always going to be increasing in value. You want to have that. This is like trying to buy or getting a cut or having a piece of the Empire State Building or some big Wall Street building down there in the 1970s, and now you're looking at your portfolio and saying, oh man, that was a good investment, because it's increased in value over the decades and decades. And Bitcoin's the same thing, but better. All right, this song's old. Did we spend any time on Bitcoin dominance tonight? Well, Bitcoin dominance has been, Bitcoin dominance is looking like it wants to go up. We've been calling it that. That's my concern about altcoins. That's going to make altcoins. They can still go up, but they got to fight for every little bit that they get. What I see on Bitcoin dominance is, we might be bouncing here, but ultimately the tide is starting to turn, so hopefully we'll come up, make a lower high, and then maybe finally break this trend line. That would be the most bullish thing that we could ask for. Well, I guess the most bullish thing that we could ask for is if it just starts dropping automatically right now, but we need to see some Bitcoin dominance rejection. And right now, it looks like she wants to go up a little bit before she comes back down. And that'll be a little tricky for altcoins. Good for Bitcoin, but usually. Low leverage, I ain't tripping on no margin call. Learn my lesson now, I'm balling, standing 10 feet tall. Group thinks dead, I'm the one who's calling all the shots. Trade with me, we'll be stacking crypto to the top. If you wanna go and trade with me, stack them coins in the game with me. Roll through dips, keep it fly with me. It's a waiting game, but you can still make these small little plays. Like there's a small little long, and it could turn into a bigger long in case this is just a fake out. So I kind of keep those things in mind too. Study charts, don't ride the dump. Hey, keep your head in groove. Risk what you can lose. Stay sharp. Plan your exit right. Trade with me. Forever, ever. Stacking day and night. I'm
I'm the king of trades, got my vision crystal clear. Disco's noise can't shake me, I ain't got no fear. Every dip's a chance, I'm scooping coins when they low. Flip them high, cash out clean, watch my portfolio grow. No more FOMO, I'm the one who's setting all the trends. Crypto life, living large, rolling with my friends. Wanna win and join the squad, we trade into the moon. Trade with me, we'll hit the top, we'll be there real soon. If you wanna go and trade with me, stack them coins in the game with me. Roll through dips, keep it fly with me. Hey, hey, must be the crypto. If you wanna see the charts go green, dodge a crash, keep it clean with me.
So getting some movement on the hour here. Link, are you back up there again? Oh, dirty bastard. You're going to go $27 on me, aren't you? Crow's hanging out there at 14.20, not bad. Let's bring up others. So this is the others chart on the daily. MACD has flipped bearish, suggesting more downside for altcoins, basically. However, money flows in the green. We're at the bottom of the trend line. It would be great if we can get some support. I can make an argument that we can get some support here on altcoins. And that could, this could just be an altcoin fake out. Honestly, altcoins look more favorable right now than Bitcoin. They haven't got any weekly sell signs yet, and money flow's coming in. I would love to see altcoins take off, but we would have to see Bitcoin dominance for a really good effect go bearish. It's odd to see Bitcoin dominance and others go at the same time. I don't trust that as much. But right now, this is looking beautiful. Finding some support there. So it looks like altcoins might start coming back up, but we got some resistance. Just be aware, see what happens over there. And they might want to slam us down after we get up to these areas. But it looks like there might be some possible longs on altcoins, and you might be looking for any possible short setups once we can get to areas of resistance. The greatest thing would be, man, if we can come up here and hold this area and flip it for support, that would, invalidate this possible top pattern we got going on. That would be cool.
Swapping dope for a coin that's cursed. Lost the keys, now the heads might burst. Rogue polios, just hold a pain portfolio, screaming you're going insane.
Just keep in mind, it's these bigger time frames that have got a few little warning signs, like the 3-day. So there's some warning signs we got to be aware of, not to get too bullish yet. That's what the bigger time frames are saying, because they might be pulling a little trick on us coming into the weekend. And the 3-day on others or altcoins, it's in danger of flipping bearish, but it hasn't confirmed yet. So we just got to pay attention to this and be a little cautious rather than get extremely too bullish. Now, hopefully, maybe we'll get a scenario like this where over the next few days we start seeing it. Well, I just want to keep going up. I would love that. But we just can't assume that it's going to happen. We got to watch for the signs, unless we go pure degen. I like what I'm seeing here on some of the like the 4-hour and the 2-hour. We're catching some buy signals right now for altcoins. I don't know how long that buy signal will last. It could be the start of something beautiful. It could be the start of something, it's only good for a little bit, and then, gotcha, bitch. Though you are bouncing off the trend line, and ain't nothing wrong with taking a walk over here with that idea, in my opinion. This is not where you want to short. This is not the place to short on support. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. See you tomorrow. Hope it'll be a little bit clearer message about what's going on. Remember, we got Jerome Powell coming out, going to be talking and all this other stuff toward the end of the week, and I don't know, man, all that stuff. it could be a turbulent week. Just expect that.
I weave my world where the code flows free. My heart's
All right, time for let the little doggy wave and say good night, John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.